We're live?
Yeah, we're live. It works.
Awesome. Hey guys, welcome to Talking Time with Caffeine, episode 47 of season 6. Oh, it's a lovely day for a carnival.
A lovely
Okay,
night for a
so-
carnival, it seems. I gotta go to the bathroom now.
So,
Wait.
so as I walk towards it, so what's your story about your carnival experience, Jesse?
I'm on Twitch and I don't. Oh, never mind. I remember going to a carnival. And there was this one dude, and he was stacking up a bunch of chairs. He stacked up like 25 chairs and balanced on top of them.
Was that like an act or something, or just them guys showing off?
It was an act.
Ah,
We were inside a big circus tent, and then everybody was in the crowd, and what I mean by stacked up, he didn't create a pyramid. He created just a straight line up, just a huge stack.
I've only stacked the chairs like 6 high one time and sat on them. They're never 25 high.
I also got a really big alien balloon. One of those blow up alien guys? I got one of those when I was like 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is my town's local carnival. It comes every June in my neighborhood.
I have like 2 local carnivals, one of which is close by to where I am, and the other one is closer to where a friend of mine lived at. That the latter of which was the one that most kids from my school went to.
This one.
Now that I think about it, I think that's a circus and not a carnival that I went to where the guy stacked up the chairs.
Yeah, this one is at the local Catholic church.
Oh.
The St. Chris Carnival. I haven't really gone the past few years because most of the rides are baby rides. Even though this year there are some big kids rides in this year.
Big kid.
People that aren't 5 years old can ride.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. I actually do have a bit of an elementary school schnick story with kind of involving something like that. Two short stories, actually. So, essentially, I used to go to so I mentioned the park I would always go to where the frickin' story of me not winning a frickin' toy at a frickin' game at the frickin' park, like that same park. When I was a kid and I went there, we would always start in what was called Kiddie Land, where they all had all the baby rides.
Yeah.
Like, we would always go on the rides in a specific order, like basically circling the park, going on everything in order. On my first year where I was too old to be in the freaking Kiddieland section, me and my sister went regardless.
Oh.
And then we freaking get to the front of the line on the first ride. My sister gets let on, and the guy, he keeps saying, too tall, too tall, too tall, too tall. Like, he kind of said it like that to me. And I didn't even understand what he was saying, but my dad did. He quickly pulled me out of line, and my sister was forced to go on it by herself.
Oh, you're too big for the ride.
Yeah, I was too big for the ride.
You're a big kid now, Snick.
Oh, trust me. At one of my sister's dancing shows, they had a little bit of a carnival there, too.
Is that the same dancing show from before? Different one.
Well, it was a dance that she would normally attend. Like, it wasn't a big, super happy honor or anything like that. It was just something she did. So, and I'll tell you this much. I was only brought along because my mom and dad said, just go on the rides. You don't have to watch her. Because there were times where my mom and dad understood that I wasn't interested in really watching what she did, so they would find other ways to keep me occupied. But then the whole thing is, pretty much every ride they had there, I was too big for. Pretty much the only thing I remember being able to ride was the Ferris wheel.
I missed the Ferris wheel here. There used to be a Ferris wheel here, but they got rid of it.
Of course.
Ever since then, this thing's been a lame place.
Vandalia, do you have any rigged, rigged games for teddy bears over there? Like the bottle ring game?
Oh my god.
We'll see.
Well, actually, actually, the point I was trying to get across was when one of the park employees decided to have a cock tease moment with me.
Oh no.
So normally, I would try to ride every single ride. I'll get the too tall comment.
Oh.
And then we got to, like, this little jungle gym area, which looked like I was fine. In fact, it looked like there were kids older than me going in.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part is, I ended up asking the attendant, who was guarding the gate, asking if I could go in, and she's like, yeah, come on in. I tried walking up. She immediately sidesteps in front of the entrance and says, too tall.
Wow. That's messed up.
Yeah, she didn't have a smile on her face or anything, so it's not like she was doing it on purpose. Maybe she wasn't freaking paying attention, or maybe there was a devilish side. I don't know.
That sucks. One year, there was a year where I went to a place. I forgot where, but I went to this place and there was right. And we went to it twice in a row. So first year I was able to ride the teacups, and the next year I was like an inch too tall for them, which is pretty ridiculous.
Seems a little bit loud there.
Also, what else? There was this one ride, like a mini roller coaster ride, that my cousin couldn't go on because she was too small, but an adult could, so I had to ride with her.
Jesus, Vandalia, you're kind of cutting Jesse off.
Sorry, I'll mute myself.
It is very loud.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's gonna mute himself, and if you have to speak, then just simply unmute it.
Hold on. Maybe. Can't find the mute button on this thing.
Should be like. Actually, let me see.
You tap the screen and then it has a mic.
It should, yeah, it should have a microphone icon.
I know. I had it earlier, but no. Weird.
What? Wait, what? I'm pretty sure that's implemented in all of Skype. Like, if you have the little square popped up, you should have. If you're inside the app, you should have a speaker, a microphone, a plus icon, a video icon.
Yes, I know. I know. It looks like this. There it goes.
Okay.
Oh.
Looks like we got it.
There are rumors of Simon Belmont being in Smash 5. The only reason why I know about these rumors is because I was listening to Castlevania Bloodlines. No, I was listening to Castlevania 2 soundtrack,
Yeah.
Simon Quests, and I was listening to, I think it was no, not Castle Tears, Castle Blood.
Bloody Tears.
Yeah, Bloody Tears.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's one of the more famous tracks.
Yeah, and somebody in the bottom was talking about a leak, and I kind of went to investigate myself. So
I mean,
okay.
I kind of hope Konami would become a bit more open about at least licensing their characters out to like other companies that want to do crossovers. I mean, then again, Konami did allow the Castlevania TV series to happen.
Well, see, there's a thing that even if Konami wants to have Simon Belmont, Sakurai would probably say no because he's a very close friend with Kojima. So.
Oh, he is? Huh. Well, then again,
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima didn't have much to do with the Castlevania series. Like, I think at most he only helped with Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Yeah, but the thing is that Sakurai basically like hates them now. Like he has like a horribly burning like hatred for them. So
Supposedly he was working on Smash 5 and Dead Silence, like in his own words.
He probably was.
I mean, I said a couple of days ago
Paul,
that I was playing Smash 4 a bit more, but then I remembered why it didn't feel as fulfilling to like unlock any stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, not saying you have to put in ridiculous requirements, but like the whole thing is, the reason why I liked characters being hard to unlock in earlier games is because, like, here's probably the best example I can give. In the older Tekken games, essentially you had to beat arcade mode with all of the default characters in order to unlock all the secret characters. And they additionally put additional unlocks behind, like, beating arcade mode with, like, all the characters, even the unlockable ones. Like, what I kind of like about that is it kind of forces you to try the game with each character, and that way it's, like, more of a rewarding experience, because you can see all the work they put into it with, like, all the characters and their different movesets, whereas I feel Smash 4 doesn't really a good job in encouraging you to play as all the different characters. Like, for all you care, you can just pick your favorite character and just stick with them. That's it. And to me, I don't see the fun in that. Like, but that's just me.
I mean, I guess, but then you have event mode. Like, the event mode.
Yeah, event mode was alright, but it took me, like, only a weekend to beat it.
All the events.
Yeah.
And very hard.
Oh, I didn't play on very hard, but...
What about the two-player event modes? The two-player event modes...
Well, don't forget, I'm a guy who has no one to play the game with in person, because because I essentially only have 2 friends close to me. One of which is always busy. In fact, now he's basically teaching sailing this summer. And then the other one basically pretends I don't even exist.
Yeah.
That
sucks.
I already documented the aforementioned Target incident, which was the last time I ever saw him to date.
Anyways, so just to reinforce the fact that Sakurai is a huge friend of Kojima.
Yeah.
Back when Brawl was in development, Brawl wasn't even planned to be a game.
What was it planned to be?
What? Like, so it was meant to be a port of Melee, but
oh, Jesus.
Satoru Iwata came up on stage and said that there will be a new Smash game. Like, he worded it like it would be a brand new Smash game.
So that
So
he was
Sakurai-
eventually he was forced to make a new game. You know, it's funny, he claimed that he wasn't sure there would even be a new Smash game after Smash 4. Then again, it's funny how you say he's a good friend of Hideo Kojima, because Kojima tried leaving the Metal Gear series numerous times.
Yeah, Sakurai said the last Smash game would be Melee. So, and he says that basically every new Smash game comes out that it'll be the last one, but
It's funny because, like, Kojima, I think he intended MGS4 to be the last game. Actually, no, I think he just intended MGS3 to be the last game, but then he was kind of guilted into making MGS4 in order to bring closure to the series. And then, he's like, okay, MGS4 is the last one. Though, technically, it kind of is, because it's the end of the series timeline, if you don't count Metal Gear Rising.
yeah.
But then, he ended up making MGS Peace Walker, and he's like, okay, now this is the last one. And then he made MGS 5, and that one truly did end up being the last one, because he was kicked out of Konami.
Yeah.
But even if he stayed, there was a lot of hints he dropped that MGS 5 was definitely going to be the last one. And in all honesty, like, after MGS 5, I don't think you really could have done anything else other than maybe do a full 3D remake of the original Metal Gear games.
Yeah, people kind of just want remakes of Metal Gear.
Metal Gear 1 and 2, yeah, especially since the game, like, I tried playing the original Metal Gear. It's not bad, but obviously it's an old game, so it's a bit primitive.
Yeah, a bit archaic. Hasn't really aged that well.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Funny thing is, I think Kojima intended for the game to be a full-blown action game, but because of the MSX's limitations, he had to make it a stealth game.
Huh. So, anyways, so in Brawl's development, Sakurai, like, since Satoru Iwata went up in stage, Sakurai was watching live when he said that it'll be a new game, and he walks up to Iwata and he's just like, what the heck, man? And Iwata was like, oh, I didn't really word that right. I don't know, just do what you want, really. And then he made Brawl, which is, completely different from Melee. And
I honestly like how each Smash game should at least be different from each other.
Yeah. And then, so in development, Sakurai is working insanely hard on making Brawl as fast as he could, because, when basically the development started as soon as the E3 started, with Satoru Iwata saying it was a new game. But during that time period, Kojima was like, hey, Sakurai, my kid really likes Smash Brothers, and I was thinking if you would put Snake in. And Sakurai's just like, Snake? But guns. And he was just like, oh, you could probably find a way to make it work, and he hung up. Then Sakurai was just like, God dang it.
It's funny because I think the way I read that story was that, in fact, I might just change the topic to E3 at this point, because that's what we're talking about, because we're building up our anticipation for what E3 is going to have. Alright, E3. Yeah. E3 2018, make it a bit more complex. Alright, so the funny thing is, when I read that story, Kojima watched his son playing the original Smash Brothers on N64, and his son told him asked him why a character he created wasn't in it. And then Kojima apparently called up Sakurai or someone on the Smash Bros. Development team during Mei's development. He's like, oh, could you put Snake in? And supposedly, the way I read it at least, they wanted to, but Mei was already too far in development to do such a thing.
Melee was way too late.
So, but then he complied when Brawl came out.
Yeah, when Brawl came out, I'm pretty sure Kojima asked again, and Sakura was like, okay. So,
Yeah, it's
also,
funny. It's funny how Snake was not allowed to have guns in Brawl, and yet we have freaking Bayonetta in Smash 4, who only uses guns as weapons, whereas Snake at least had CQC
yeah,
and explosives, and then of course PlayStation All-Stars had plenty of characters like Nathan Drake, Dante, and a couple of other characters that use guns as well.
yeah. Um, Dang it, I was thinking about something. Oh yeah, did you know freaking SpongeBob was planned for Brawl? Like, this is a serious story. Like, yeah, like Sakurai was thinking of putting characters outside of video games because, since they're having closer ties with third parties, since you're getting Sonic and Snake and Brawl,
Yeah,
he
and then
was
Smash
thinking,
4, like, one thing I'll give Smash 4 credit is that they were definitely doing a lot more third party stuff, which was kind of cool.
yeah.
Like,
And
I remember
then,
when PlayStation All-Stars came out, I was defending the game because there were a lot of Smash Brothers fanboys that were freaking trashing the game. It was not a bad game, but it just had a lack of content. That was its main problem. And
lack of content, it didn't really. It was more of a modern PlayStation
I mean, the
like
thing is, a
representative as
PlayStation
well.
Smash Bros. Clone could work, because contrary to popular belief, PlayStation does have a wide enough library of characters to where it could work, because
Yeah.
I know Microsoft claimed that they would never do a Smash Bros. Clone because they self-admitted that their lineup of characters is not as good as Nintendo's or Sony's.
Yeah, their characters wouldn't really work as well. Like, imagine freaking Master Chief in the Smash game.
I mean, at
I
the
don't think
very
that would.
least, they kind of did a Microsoft crossover fighting game with Killer Instinct, since they had. Because, I mean, well, Killer Instinct is owned by Microsoft since it's a Rare franchise. Then they put freaking the Arbiter from Halo, one of the Battletoads, and the villain of Gears of War as playable characters.
Yeah,
Like, guest characters in that, so that kind of worked in their favor. But
yeah,
But yeah, the whole thing is, I know the boss of PlayStation claimed that he basically claimed never say never to a PlayStation All-Stars follow-up, but they would have to do it very differently, and they would have to add more stuff to do in it. And I will
yeah.
say, well, one of the more retarded, like outright retarded excuses Nintendo fanboys had to trash the game, like, seriously, one of the top reviews on GameFAQs, one of the top user reviews on GameFAQs even had this claim. Their characters aren't as iconic as Mario and Link.
There are some iconic characters, but it's just the roster was smaller.
I mean, they could, like, well, the problem with PlayStation All-Stars is that they usually only used one character per franchise, when in fact they could have used multiple characters from each franchise, like what Smash Brothers did. Like,
I'm trying to remember PlayStation All Stars is.
well, there were only 24
roster.
There were only 24
I know
characters.
I know there was Nathan Drake.
They had Nathan Drake, they had
Sly
Cole from
Cooper.
Infamous, they had Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Kratos, Sweet Tooth, Sackboy, Radek from Killzone, trying to think of who else. They had the Fat Princess, they had an evil version of Cole, who else did they have? Oh, they had Spike from Ape Escape. Sir Dan from Medieval. Though I will say the third-party characters they had were, unlike Smash Brothers, where at least the third-party characters were famous and, like, well-regarded. The thing with PlayStation All-Stars that heavily dates it is that the third-party characters that were featured were more or less only in there to promote games that were coming out at the time.
Yeah.
Like that, like, for instance, some of the characters could have worked as guests, but given that they only appear in like whatever attire they had in their games at the time, that just kind of dates it. Like, for instance, two of the guest characters, Big Daddy and Isaac Clarke, they were clearly only in there to promote BioShock Infinite and Dead Space 3. And given that those aren't widely known as PlayStation games, in fact, BioShock was an Xbox exclusive for a while until it got a PS3 port.
Yeah.
I mean, but then Heihachi, Dante, and Raiden were a lot more associated with PlayStation. But still, Dante only appeared in his DMC outfit. I mean, Raiden, even though his default outfit was his Metal Gear Rising outfit, you still had the option to switch to his MGS4 and even MGS2 outfits. But then... And then Heihachi, well, the Tekken series was PlayStation exclusive for quite a while. Maybe not so much Metal Gear, because Metal Gear Solid 2 got an Xbox port pretty quickly. But... And then Devil May Cry was PlayStation exclusive for a while, but still, like, you can tell the third-party characters were only in there to promote games.
Yeah. Another thing was, I heard that some of the stages in PlayStation All-Stars was a bit meh as well. Like, they were kind of bland.
Well, it didn't help that they tried to be different from Smash Brothers, like not be an outright ripoff. I mean, the idea is that each stage was meant to like combine certain franchises together.
Yeah, I heard that many people didn't really like that. And I know there were a lot of like moving stages.
Yeah. I don't quite remember the stages too well, but I'll say the game was not bad, but the thing is, it cost $60 at launch, and it actually dropped to $40 quickly, and now it's like available for $10.
Yeah, didn't it have to compete with Brawl, which was like the most selling Smash game at the time?
Well, it came out 5 years after Brawl, so I don't even know if Brawl's servers were that active anymore.
5 years after Brawl, you sure?
Yeah, it came out in 2012.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it came out earlier than that.
No, it came out later.
It came out in, like 2008.
All I know is that I would not mind seeing that PlayStation try again with the concept, but they just would have... I mean, another problem is that they got a brand new developer who never made a game before to do it.
Oh.
So, yeah. In all honesty, although apparently that developer ended up defecting and they decided not to work on the game anymore, so later work was done by Sony's main Santa Monica studio, who makes the God of War games and like other big stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the whole thing is when the game did sell at least decently. Like, it managed to get over 1 million copies, but obviously for a game that was a Smash Bros. Clone, Sony was expecting more, so they ended up abruptly halting development on DLC, which kind of made the people who bought the game a little upset. Because there were only 4 DLC characters, and there were plans for 2 more characters that got scrapped. Like, the characters would have been Dart from Legend of Dragoon, which is actually a pretty decent RPG that was very Final Fantasy themed. That was on the PS1. It's considered one of the PS1's biggest cult classics. Which got people upset because they wanted to see Legend of Dragoon get some kind of modern acknowledgement, though it is available to buy in the PS3's PlayStation Store. And then they were also going to have Abe from the Oddworld series.
Interesting. I heard that Sonic and Tails were jokingly... Okay, for an April Fool's joke...
In Smash Melee, right?
Yeah, and Melee for Nintendo Power. I'm pretty sure it was either GameFAQs or Nintendo Power, but there was a page saying that you could unlock Sonic and Tails by doing ridiculous things like flipping your discs upside down or trying to beat Cruel Man Melee by killing like 20
If that was in
guys.
Nintendo Power, I wonder if they did that joke only because in like April, was this for 2001 or 2002? April Fool's Day.
Probably 2002 because Melee came out 2001. So
Yeah, well, that's kind of funny because that was just at the point when the Dreamcast died.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
that's just when Nintendo and Sega began collaborating.
Another character that was planned for Melee but was scrapped was actually Excite Bike guy. Like you would play as a guy on a motorcycle, but they had trouble trying to figure out a moveset for him. Yet they somehow figured
that
out
was
a
kind of
moveset.
funny because on the topic of another fighting game, back when they were making Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they actually wanted to put Silver Surfer as a playable character. But then they couldn't figure out a moveset for him that would have incorporated his surfboard.
Huh.
And then they considered adding him without it, but then they felt he looked too similar to Iceman.
Wow.
Funny thing is, Silver Surfer does have a Mugen character, and whoever made the character actually made it work. He's on the surfboard
Wow.
and everything.
It's funny. There's been some weird stuff with Nintendo, and I'm pretty sure a lot of their answers are cop-out answers. Like during like game design, because during an E3 demo for Mario Sunshine, the demo ran at 60 FPS, but the actual game was only 30, like when it released.
Yeah, I remember it being 30.
And when they asked Miyamoto, like, when they asked Miyamoto, they were like, "Hey, why is this game 30 FPS?" And then he's just like, "Well, since we enhanced the gameplay from the demo, we felt like the gameplay felt like it was 30 FPS. It just doesn't look like 60." And people were really confused. So,
Here's a quick question. How much does Mario Sunshine cost nowadays?
probably around in the 80s to 100s.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
GameCube games have gone exponentially up.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but a lot of
Like,
them
I would
have,
say
especially
games
for
made
free.
on Nintendo themselves, maybe, but not like anything else. Depends on what the game is.
Uh-huh. It
Yeah,
does
because
depend
I
on
only
the
say
gamers.
that
A
because
lot
I
of
was
things
looking
that
at my copy of
look-
Mario Sunshine. I got it from a GameStop for only $15 because that was back when they were trying to get rid of all their GameCube stuff.
There's some factory sealed ones.
Wait, you're talking about the
Okay.
factory sealed ones, right?
And I'm trying to look for used ones.
Yeah, because like freaking I can understand factory sealed. But I
Mario
remember like the
Sunshine.
game costing like $30 for used copies. And now we're dropping frames. I don't know why.
150 new, 100 new, 600 new. Okay, no, that's scalper.
Hang on a sec. Oh, now we're not dropping frames. Good. Oh my god, why are we dropping frames now?
Oh no.
I better not find out my sister's on FaceTime because I'm going to ask her to get off.
Yeah. Anyways, I actually have a rare Mario Sunshine case.
Oh, looks like Mario Sunshine goes for about $40.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. $40 to $50 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
Just so you know,
yeah,
I
that
have
makes a lot
very
more
rare-
sense. Yeah.
I have a very rare Kmart edition of Mario Sunshine.
What's in the Kmart edition?
Pretty much the only thing that's different is the box art. Is that on the front cover it says Kmart, and there were only three Kmart Edition GameCube games. There was Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, and Star Fox Adventures.
Huh.
And considering they were Kmart only and for a limited time, it was like, I'm pretty sure it was just like for a sale or something. It's for a limited time. But yeah, I ended up getting a really rare thing, or my family did. So
I mean, a
yeah, I just
couple of
have
my
that.
GameCube games I got the most opportune time because, like Mario Sunshine, Smash Brothers Melee, the Mario parties, like they're a lot more money now, but I got them back when GameStop was trying to get rid of their copies. Well,
Yeah,
actually, not the Mario parties. I actually got them off Amazon, if I remember correctly. Though before the
huh,
price hike.
yeah. So on the box cover of my Mario Sunshine, it says bonus, and then it says Kmart Nintendo Power magazine included inside. Unfortunately, I have no idea where that magazine is. It's probably destroyed and worthless, probably thrown away at this point. But
Oh my god. So, have you seen a movie called The Goonies? You there?
okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to go. What were you saying?
Have you seen a movie called The Goonies?
Yes.
You know, friggin' Sean Astin, who played Mikey in the movie, he was allowed to keep the treasure map that was used as a prop in the movie. Then a couple years
Uh-huh.
later, his mom came across the map while cleaning his room or something, and she thought it was trash and threw it away.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow. That sucks.
Yeah, that was like a little piece of trivia.
Uh,
I don't know why it's dropping frames all of a sudden now. I need to see if my sister's using FaceTime or something. Yeah, because it only just started. You know what? I'm going upstairs to investigate now.
Schnick is gonna go eviscerate. Whoa. Vandalia, that was loud. That's funny. Mario Sunshine. Nintendo Power. Hey, Vandalia. You have a big Coca-Cola. Your Coca-Cola looks gigantic in camera at that angle. And every time when I try to sing the Coca-Cola jingle, I end up singing the Kit Kat jingle by accident. I don't know why. I'm like something, 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 something. Drink the Coca-Cola. Player's Guide. Mario Sunshine. Player's Guide. Keyboard. I don't think people even know about this special thing because I do not know where the Player's Guide is. I'm trying to find it online. Mario Sunshine Player's Guide. The official Player's Guide from Super Mario Sunshine. Format paperback, $15 is what I'm seeing on Amazon. The guy might also not know how much it's worth. $750. Oh, that hurts. That hurts since I don't have that anymore. Piece of the more. So during the EA conference, it was extremely boring and really unfortunate. They turned like, if you know Command and Conquer, which is, it used to be a franchise that was really popular back during the Warcraft and when StarCraft was at its peak. Command and Conquer was a pretty big franchise. At E3, EA revealed a mobile game of Command and Conquer. And yeah, that's what it's reduced to now, just a mobile game, unfortunately. And it doesn't even look that good. It just looks like a generic RTS mobile game. And they revealed it at the show floor by having these two random guys come up and play it on a phone, battling each other. And then they're like, surprise, it was Command and Conquer. And everybody was like, oh. So, yeah, it was unfortunate. Somebody said that the Command and Conquer game looks like a game you'd get out of a cereal box. The only decent thing I'd say EA showed was Unravel 2. And they're like smaller independent studios who kind of just collab with EA. Those studios are alright. It's just unfortunate that they got suction cupped into EA. Probably asked for funding or whatever, got funded, and now they're stuck in the never-ending loop of EA.
Alright, I'm back.
Hello.
Looks like it was just some bullshit with the internet because my sister couldn't connect online. Yeah, sorry it took me a while to get back because my sister has a friend over. I was talking to the both of them.
Yeah.
Not to mention I was telling the freaking guy she brought over about how about the freaking Shrek stream I did. Because he asked what I was doing down here. It's like, seriously though, like the one stream where I played Shrek Xbox for like a half hour, that probably is one of the better streams I did, even though it devolved into just me generically playing Resident Evil 3 to calm down.
Yeah. That's all you need to calm down is Resident Evil 3's save theme.
And of course I had a freaking cup of soda / iced tea with goddamn Malibu inside, and Brandon laughed at that. But, wow. Were you saying anything to the stream that I missed?
No. I was talking about how the Kmart version of Mario Sunshine...
Oh, you were saying more stuff about that?
Yeah, there was a player's guide that was included that is now going for $750 on Amazon.
Fuck.
So, yeah. I have the case of the Kmart thing. I don't have the guide anymore, so that kind of sucks.
trying to think
I also
of...
talked a bit.
You know
I
what?
also talked a bit about Command and Conquer, the
Oh,
mobile
okay.
game.
I mean, I've never really played Command and Conquer, but you know, it's funny. I have a PS2 game called Ghost Hunter. I got it from one of my local retro game stores for like $15. Then I go
Mhm.
to a different store just a couple of weeks ago. Now it's selling for $65.
Inflation. I'm just kidding.
And
But
I
yeah,
asked them how the price went up, and they're like, "Oh, some popular YouTuber reviewed it. Now everyone wants a copy." And I tried looking it up, but I didn't see anyone notable reviewing it.
well, they probably assumed just because a few YouTubers were looking at it that it was ultra popular. So
Maybe it was Twitch streamers too.
maybe Twitch streamers, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
then
I
again,
haven't
it's a
really.
good thing I got it when I did.
Uh-huh.
Swear to God, there's quite a few games I own that I got at the right time.
Uh-huh. I have I don't really have that much games. I have lots of Wii games, lots of 360 games.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Well,
think because I already mentioned the Mario Party, Smash Melee, Mario Sunshine, and Ghost Hunter just now. Another game that actually fits that well is the original release of Bayonetta 2 on the Wii
Wii U
U.
version.
Huh?
Yeah, I think I downloaded a demo for it.
Yeah, the
Is there a
original
demo for
release of
Bayonetta?
Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U is kind of hard to find. Because, like, for the first at least
Physical?
couple of months of its release, it was a double pack that included the original Bayonetta, which was the only way to get the Wii U version of the game on disc.
Oh,
It was
I
the
kind of.
only way to get the original Bayonetta on Wii U on disc. Otherwise, you had to buy it off the eShop. Then later on, Nintendo slashed the price in half and sold it for $30, although only Bayonetta 2 was included inside. Subsequently, the original double pack that came with the original, it ended up selling, last I checked, used copies were well over $60. And I think
Wow.
I bought it brand new from Best Buy about a couple of months before it got discontinued.
Mm.
It was still $60, but still, I got it.
Do you know what's a game that I got but never opened? No, wait, I think I did open it once, played it for 20 minutes, and then got really sad for the Wii U. It
Why?
was the SpongeBob game, the Plankton's Robotic Revenge,
Oh,
that
fuck.
seemed to be it seemed to be a sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom, but in reality, it's so boring. It's like almost a top-down shooter game,
Yeah,
and
I'll
it
tell you
just
one
uses
thing. I'm playing a good top-down shooter called Hunter the Reckoning.
yeah.
Like, freaking
But
Hunter, they made the
like
original game backwards compatible on Xbox One. I'm waiting for them to make the third game, because second game was on PS2.
yeah, the game really isn't even a platformer. It's just long levels, some sections where you jump, and you do nothing but like that really obnoxious like. Okay, I'll admit that I like platformers from like the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube days. I like those platformers, but sometimes they could have really repetitive combat where you just like mash the X or
I mean, that's
square
funny,
button.
because NitroRad is a guy who reviews a lot of platformers, and that's a common complaint he brings up, how a lot of platformers never really had good combat.
If you want to know my opinion on any game, just watch Nitro Red. He has the exact same opinion as me on
Yeah,
any.
NitroRad's not that bad. Like, I'll tell you this much: he doesn't use a lot of the cringy JonTron humor that a lot of reviewers, in my opinion, try and fail to replicate.
He has his own kind of
Yeah,
style.
he does. Whole thing, like, I don't know why. I'm especially nowadays. I'm just not a fan of the JonTron randomness humor.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. With JonTron himself, it at least kind of worked, but then everyone else tried, like, in a similar fashion, how everyone was trying to copy the AVGN in the early days of YouTube. Like, it felt like after JonTron came out, everyone was trying to copy JonTron. And yet, while everyone got mad at the AVGN clones, for some reason no one got mad at the JonTron clones. In fact, quite a few of them got very popular.
Huh. Interesting. Another person who's kind of in that JonTron-esque, but in my opinion is kind of a good channel, is a guy named Scott the Woz.
Oh yeah, I saw a couple of his. I saw a couple of his videos a long time ago, like a couple months.
Some of his new stuff, he has increased in quality a lot. One, I think he got a better camera. 2, he moved to a different house. And 3, his writing got a lot better. Like, way better writing.
I tell you this much. Sometimes when we watch all these good people on YouTube, we keep wondering why we can't do any better until I realize, I'm good with what I'm doing because I don't really take YouTube that seriously.
Yeah,
it's more or less just a thing
kind
for
of
fun.
It's kind of a lack of motivation. And
I wouldn't call it a lack of motivation. Like, I would just say it's just something I kind of do for fun.
Yeah. I kind of just document my stuff on YouTube a lot of the time, and whenever I just want to do stuff, I just play it.
I will tell you this much. Me freaking wanting to build a universe around shitty RPG, like, I don't know, a lot of it's just as a joke, but I wasn't expecting to take it so seriously.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you heard me during my stream, but you said that you had an idea way back in your high school days of a Battle Royale-esque
Yeah,
thing.
I did say that.
And I'm not sure if you heard me talking, but I said, like, you know, okay, so basically what I said was, you know, you could do that for one of the shitty RPG games 20 years from now.
Yeah, I did hear you saying that, but yeah. I don't know, like, the whole problem with, because the thing is, the shitty RPG games, their events are canon with the whole Schnick universe I built. And the thing is, because I keep... What happened now?
So yeah, I was joking around saying that you could do a Mortal Kombat Armageddon in 9 thing where you just reset the entire universe, basically.
Wait, do they explain? Like, wait, Mortal Kombat Armageddon and Mortal Kombat 9 actually do explain how they reset the continuity? Or is that, or is Mortal Kombat 9 just a standard reboot?
It's Mortal Kombat Armageddon. And basically, how they explain it at the start of Mortal Kombat 9 is that everybody killed each other. A bunch of people killed each other, so the entire roster got shrunk down to just about 20-ish characters. And the characters that were left kind of just went about their ways and their story stuff with... who was it? I can't remember Mortal Kombat characters that well. But yeah, it was just kind of whoever was left kind of just did their own thing.
Because I know Star Trek went out of their way to explain how we got a reboot series that still somehow took place in the original series continuity.
Yeah.
Because in the Star Trek movies, like, it's an alteration to the timeline.
Yeah.
It, like, takes place in an alternate timeline that the original Spock accidentally transported himself to. And then when the original Spock dies in Star Trek Beyond, the new Spock goes through his stuff and actually finds a photo of the original Enterprise crew.
Huh. Well. So, yeah. Basically, what happened with Mortal Kombat is that the series was increasing in complexity, and it ended pretty much on Armageddon, where it was like a 3D fighter.
Yeah,
like,
I own Armageddon on the Wii.
I played Armageddon on the Wii too. That's one of my first Mortal Kombat experiences. Well, okay, when I was little, I saw like my family play the first two Mortal Kombat games, and I remember a Mortal Kombat disc. I don't know, was it a GameCube disc? I don't think there was a GameCube Mortal Kombat. Was there? Let me see. GameCube Mortal.
Now Vendetta Records is asking if JonTron's gonna be in Shitty RPG 4. I don't know. He might.
No, just his bird. That's it. Oh, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
On the GameCube. Yeah, that was on the GameCube.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of that when I was little, but I didn't really play the games until Armageddon came out. And my dad was really big into emulators, and he showed me Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, and I played lots of that. So though the most time I put into was Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Mortal Kombat 10 I also have, but I haven't really put that much time into. I was really excited for it, but then I don't know, I just sucked at it. So I
don't know, like, part of me feels a little bit upset that they had freaking Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat 9, which meant by the time they put freaking Jason Voorhees in Mortal Kombat X, that meant that Freddy vs. Jason fans couldn't live out their fantasies. Instead, it has to be Jason versus Leatherface.
At least you have Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, you do get that.
So, and the Mortal Kombat Extra Large, which I call it.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat XL, because it got... No, freaking... I was about to say Shrek should be in the next Mortal Kombat, but then I just remembered Shrek can't do fatalities.
No, all he has to do is fart.
That's right!
One of his fatalities, he eats a pepper and breathes fire on them. Or no, does like the freaking butt blast and they explode into a million pieces.
I mean, there was a Shrek fighting game called Shrek Super Slam.
Yeah, I know about Shrek Super Slam.
I played a lot of that when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I mostly only played licensed games.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you're pretty big into licensed games, like the Ed, Edd and Eddy game, the SpongeBob games,
Yeah, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney were most of what I played as a kid, or any movies I saw as a kid. I don't know why. When I was a little kid, like, I guess most kids my age were getting to play games like Crash and Spyro on the PS1. My dad never got me that stuff.
I guess it's because licensed games just stand out.
Why was it outdated by then?
No, my dad was getting me PS1 games for a good 2 years. He had plenty of time.
PlayStation has pretty big windows. Like, there's from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4, there was how many Nintendo consoles released? There was the N64, the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, and in there was Game Boy Advance. No, there was Game Boy Advance, DS, and 3DS. So in the 4 PlayStations, there were like 8 to 9 Nintendo consoles.
Funny thing is, like, the PS1 and the PS2 had very long lifespans. So is the PS3, because the PS3 is technically still alive today.
real fast. Look at this. There's a website for outhouses.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah,
But
the NES had the original NES had a long lifespan.
yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So did the Super Nintendo. In fact, in the PS1's early days, it actually competed with the Super Nintendo and the Genesis.
Now you're playing with power, super power, and then PlayStation.
I think the first,
proceeded to
wasn't the
mock it.
very first major game for the PlayStation was FF7.
Not
I
necessarily. The PS1 did have
Or
some big
Crash.
games for it beforehand. It had Crash, it had Twisted Metal, it had
well,
Wipeout.
Spyro came out slightly later. Metal Gear, right? Was Metal Gear on PlayStation 1?
Yeah, it was, but it came out after FF7. There was Castlevania in 1997.
Yeah. Where did Rare go? No, Rare stick with the N64 from that time.
Yeah,
They went
Rare
back.
was N64.
Yeah. So, pretty much, Sega was like, here's the Saturn, it's releasing today. And PlayStation was like, really? And then they increased in profit. So,
No, it's
everybody just
funny.
thinks that
Like, it's
PlayStation-
funny because at the very first E3, like the way Sega and Sony presented their stuff, like Sony just basically knocked it out of the park, doing the most with the least. Like Sega went into a long-winded presentation about how the Saturn was going to cost $400 and how it was going to get an advanced release, and they announced it so suddenly and ended up pissing off quite a few retailers through an exclusivity contract. So Sega ended up kind of screwing themselves over with their sudden and unexpected move. The boss of Sony at the time walked on the stage, $2.99, walks off to thunderous applause.
Yeah.
There's even video of that.
Uh-huh. I think I've seen all the E3 press conferences, like every E3 since then. There have been, like, it's funny because back then, you could tell that E3 was more of an investors meeting. Because they would talk a lot about sales and stuff like that. They're like, here are the stock prices for Nintendo. Look how it's going up. Very boring.
Huh. But now, of course...
I don't know if I missed it or not, because it's a little loud in there, but was there any news about Kate and E3 yet?
No, Square hasn't gone yet, so...
Square is, I think, 2 days from now. So tomorrow's going to be Microsoft and Bethesda, and then the day after tomorrow is going to be
Square and
Square. Yeah, Square and Sony, and then after that is Nintendo.
Oh, so was there anything about Blizzard today?
Not really. Blizzard isn't really going to go until I think once the show floor opens up. So after Nintendo. Because after Nintendo, the show floor opens up, and then all the companies reveal their stuff.
So basically, everything I cared about the last day, the Blizzard game or Kate's will be the last day. So,
yeah, Cage 3 is playable at E3, and we'll get a release date. So
yeah, they confirmed a month
I'm
ago
really
that
excited.
Cage 3 was getting a release date.
Awesome. So, are you gonna live stream it?
Me live stream Cage 3? I don't know. I might.
Even though like not really caught up to it yet, but
I mean, I don't know. Like, I did want to play Cage 3 blind, so
Yeah,
I
me
might
too.
still want to go through with that, even if we still have to play the earlier games first.
Yeah, there's also lots of the worlds, or not lots of the worlds, but there are some worlds that were shown off. So
I know there's Tangled, and there's Mount Olympus again, and there's Toy Story.
Yeah.
Toy Story was a big.
Oh, and I think Monsters Inc.
Yeah, Monsters Inc.
Yeah, they
There's
did have
gameplay
Monsters Inc.
There's
There's also supposed to be a Big Hero 6 world, but for some reason they've never shown gameplay of it.
might be later on in the game.
Maybe.
Anyways, yeah, there's some gameplay of the Monsters Inc. segment where they're inside like the big door factory, and Sora's like hanging off one of the doors as it's like going through. And it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sora forgot to do his paperwork.
You didn't file your paper. I can't do Roz. Freaking Brandon does it better, but Brandon's not here.
Mike Wazowski.
Hey, Jesse, you have Brandon's number. Don't you call him? Tell him to get on. Tell him to get on. Say, Brandon, get on the Skype now.
I don't. Brandon might be doing stuff for his work.
Oh,
I don't really want to.
Oh,
I don't really want to bother him.
Say, Brandon, no, stop working. Get on the podcast, Mustang.
All I know is that I think I need to stream a little bit more because I don't know. I just felt the need to talk with people.
Cool. Are you gonna stream tonight after the podcast?
Yeah, I probably will. Don't know what game yet.
Yay!
I was thinking about not doing it because my sister has a friend over, but then I'm thinking, fuck this, as long as my ma doesn't know.
Just Cause 4 got leaked by Steam.
Yeah, Just Cause 4, I saw those leaks. Never really got into Just Cause for some reason.
Have you played the second game?
I've played all 3 of them.
Oh.
I have the first one on the 360. 2 was given away for free on both PlayStation and Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 I bought on PS4.
I played a bit of Just Cause 1. I found it really clunky.
I think it kind of was. Like, I don't know. Like, I think all 3 of them, like, I just wasn't that impressed with them for some reason.
I really like Just Cause 2, though. I never really got to play Just Cause 3 because I don't have it.
It was given away for free on PS Plus 1 month, I know that. But
no,
I have... You don't have a PlayStation, do you?
No, I don't have a PlayStation. I have a PlayStation... Or, I have a PSP with a broken thumb pad. That's the only thing PlayStation that I have.
I mean...
You should get 4, so you can join us in Cage Fun.
The only game that I played that was... Let's see, what games have I played that was PlayStation related? I played a bit of Metal Gear once. I played Medieval on the PlayStation P, Twisted Metal on the PSP, Little Big Planet on the PSP. What else? Played. Did I say that I played Medieval already?
Yeah, you did.
I played Medieval. Okay. And I also played a Pirates of the Caribbean game that was really fun. But yeah.
Which you made on the PS2?
No, on the PlayStation P or
on the
PSP.
PSP. It was either Dead Man's Chest or At World's End.
It was the one where it had 3 games. Like it had the second movie, the third movie, and the 4th movie.
So
altogether.
No, it was Lego Harry Potter. Lego Pirates then.
No, it wasn't Lego. I think it was At World's End.
It was At World's End, but there was no 4th movie in it. That's impossible.
If I could play it, I don't know where the actual disc is, like the USB disc, but it was At World's End, and it had 3 movies like in it. It had the second movie.
It could not have had the 4th movie because it was unreleased at the time.
I haven't seen the 5th movie yet. As the one I've yet to watch for Pirates. Number 5.
The 5th Pirates movie I haven't seen it, but it looks
Neither have
whatever.
I.
I was really excited to see it. I even did a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon where I watched every single movie. But then once I got to the fourth one, I got really burnt out and just kind of was like, whatever.
Yeah, I
I don't
saw
really
the
care about
fifth one. It was okay, but
Yeah.
probably the
I
best
saw
part was
up to it.
friggin' Salazar, the villain.
Yeah.
That's the problem with marathons. Sometimes you gotta pace yourself.
Yeah, I saw all four of the Pirates movies in 2 days. So
I tried watching all six original Star Wars movies in a row once. That
I
took
remember
forever.
when I got the friggin' Star Wars movies for Christmas once, back when middle school Schnick was a crazy Star Wars fan. I ended up sitting through the first two prequels. If I remember correctly, I kind of fell asleep by episode 2.
I tried watching the director's commentary once.
And then I actually got bored and I skipped episode 3 to go watch the original trilogy, and I actually liked that, but then I went back to episode 3 and I liked that too.
Yeah. Everyone's, at least I know, everyone says the prequel trilogy, episode 3 is the best one.
Episode 3 is
Yeah,
the
that's
best one by far.
Hmm.
Like, AVGN put it best. Episode 3 basically redeemed the whole prequel trilogy, though the Nostalgia Critic claimed, oh, it's still a bad movie, it's just the least bad. Then again, Nostalgia Critic's a little bully, so I don't think we talk about him that much.
Actually, he did a top 10 list of...
Yeah, he did do a top 11 list of, like, the good things from the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think one of them I remember was Anakin's acting when he wasn't talking.
Yeah, like, he said that Hayden Christensen did good whenever he didn't talk. Then, trying to remember some other points he made. He claimed that it was good that Jar Jar appeared a lot less as the movies went on. Like, in episode 1, he went from being one of the main characters in episode 1 to being a side character in episode 2 to having basically only a cameo appearance in episode 3.
I saw episode 3. I don't think it's as good as I remember it.
I mean, episode 3 still has some of the problems from the prequel trilogy, like some of the bad dialogue, and some pacing problems.
I think from what I've heard people say, at least, is the problem with the prequels is George Lucas was like uncut, like he had no filter.
Funny thing is, yeah, because in the original trilogy, he had a lot of people giving him direction, and funny thing is, only one movie in the original trilogy did he direct, and that was episode 4. And funny thing is, episode 4 actually has very light versions of the problems that would come in the prequels, like some silly dialogue. Like how Princess Leia almost speaks in a half British accent at times, and how she says some little ridiculous lines, like when she first confronts when she first confronts Grand Moff Tarkin, she's like, I noticed your foul stench the moment I walked in here.
Oh. I saw a video titled How Star Wars Was Saved in the Cut, where it showed clips of the original cut of the movie, and like original footage, like beta footage of the freaking Star Wars, Star Wars: A New Hope, where like even the freaking fighter pilot scenes were nothing but B footage of air fighters, like air pilots, and apparently when he showed this to some of his friends, he's like, "Hey, I got a big idea. Look at this." They went to a room together to watch it, and they harshly criticized George Lucas for what he showed them. They said it didn't make any sense. They said it was too long. They said that it was horrible and that it'll be like a box office failure if you don't fix a lot of the points. And luckily, he did end up fixing a lot of the points, and his wife ended up cutting up, like editing a lot of the end of the movie to make it more cohesive.
You know what?
Speaking of George Lucas, I was watching a Star Trek documentary that the creator was making, and he interviewed George Lucas, and George Lucas said that he was at one of the very first Star Trek conventions in the 60s.
Wow.
Or early 70s. Either late 60s or early 70s. George Lucas was at a Star Trek convention.
I mean, it's kind of... I'm trying to think if there's any Star Trek versus Star Wars references in the movies themselves. Pretty much the only thing I can remember was that Simon Pegg ended up acting in both. And J.J. Abrams directed a movie in both.
Huh. You know, it's really disappointing. I saw a lot of Star Trek: The Next Generation, like a lot of it, and then I got to the movie, one of the movies where it was not good.
Which movie was it?
It was the one where Picard was really like overacting.
I do not. Funny thing is, I saw all the Star Trek movies.
Was that the Borg one?
Probably, yeah. Captain Picard was like, "No, the line must be drawn here." So
he hates the Borg because he was one.
Okay.
The Borg are like, you know that the Borg are like an alien race. They're cyborgs. They kidnap you and put cyborg necks on you, and you become one mind, like a hive mind.
Oh, it was Star Trek: The First Contact.
Star Trek: First Contact. Ironically, out of the Next Generation movies, I think that's considered the best one.
I know.
Yeah.
The funniest out of Star Trek movies, I think it was episode 4, The Voyage Home.
Yeah, the one where they go to freaking then modern day California.
Yeah, like, hello computer, hello, use this mouse. Hello computer, use the keyboard. How quaint.
Oh my god, like, and the funny thing is, I had just gotten all 10 of the original Star Trek movies on Blu-ray at that point. And truth is, I wanted to watch the original series. They put it on Netflix pretty recently.
God.
But the whole thing is, yeah, like, I was surprised by the fourth one because it's funny because there's the widely discussed Star Trek curse, where all the odd-numbered movies were not considered as good as the even-numbered movies, and then Star Trek Insurrection ended up breaking the curse by Star Trek Insurrection and Star Trek Nemesis ended up breaking the curse, because Insurrection was an odd-numbered movie that wasn't well-received, and then Nemesis wasn't well-received either.
Yeah. I heard rumors that the cast fell asleep in the viewing of the first movie.
Yeah, well, a nickname for the first movie is Star Trek: The Motionless Picture.
Wow.
Because not much happens in the first movie.
Yeah, you're just staring at a picture of a ship for like 3 hours. That's
the only big event, only thing I remember of that movie was the Voyager satellite. Because I remember the Voyager as a kid, learning about it in science class.
Speaking of Star Trek Voyager, I saw some of that too. That series is not as bad as people say. But
funny thing is, I have a PS2 game called Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, which is like an FPS game centered around the Voyager series.
You know, the only Star Trek series I ever saw from beginning to end, you know, when it was live, was DS9. Because I didn't start watching
Space Nine.
I didn't start watching TNG until season 5, and I lost interest in Voyager after like season 4. I lost interest.
Probably didn't watch Star Trek Discovery Voyager, since you need that CBS subscription.
Yeah.
I don't like.
And then I didn't watch all of it, but I liked a little bit of Enterprise, especially in season 3 when they got that big storyline. Season 3, that big arc.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was Deep Space Nine or Voyager. It was Captain, Is Janeway only
Voyager.
Voyager? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Janeway is Voyager. So it was a Voyager episode. There was this
Uh,
really bad Voyager episode that I did see, though. Overall, the Voyager series was decent, but there was this really bad episode where basically in Star Trek, you're supposed to go a certain amount of speed before you go into infinite speed, which is like Mach 10,
oh, warp 10.
or yeah, warp 10. And
Oh,
I think they went warp 10. They're like, yeah, let's just go warp
oh,
10.
she became a little amphibian thing.
Yeah, she became a lizard. It was
And
very strange. That episode was not good. She became a frog.
Ugh.
Also, Janeway's a
Did you?
very
Oh, you
weird
just got
character.
back.
She is very
Yeah.
yeah. Since there's, I think there were a lot of different writers on Voyager. Janeway became a very inconsistent character. Like sometimes she would follow the mission, sometimes she wouldn't, sometimes she would care for the crew.
The only mission Voyager really had was get home.
Well, not like mission, but like like the emergency situations, which happens in literally every Star Trek episode. It's like,
Oh yeah.
oh no, yeah. Sometimes she would be like, let's follow orders. Let's not. I don't know. It's really weird. Voyager is still a decent show though. If you like TLG, then Voyager might be decent. But yeah, can't make any promises because there are some really bad episodes. Good acting though all throughout. Like I'd say all of the Star Trek series, like from TLG onward, has had decent acting. Like
Yeah.
good to amazing acting.
Apparently, Janeway's real life husband ran for governor in Ohio in 2004.
Huh.
I'll be back.
Days of Play. Anyways, I'm probably gonna leave now because I have to finish doing laundry stuff. So, yeah, and I also have to go to bed early for my trip to the zoo tomorrow. So, see ya.
Hold on. There it goes. And then there were two. I hold the baby of the farmer in the So, nothing happening right now. Oh, wait, back are these messages. That's the thing. Not everything. All right. All right. So, why not? Damn it! Why not? I forgot to update it. Boo. Ah. That sucks. Wow, I changed the title of the name, but I forgot to update it. That's just something I would do. Just if he's right now. Channel. Let's see. All right. Might end this early if I'm maybe, I don't know. So basically, Carnival's boring. Rides are expensive now. No bracelets. So you get free ride. Not really free rides, but stuff. And yeah, food's decent, but a little expensive like all carnivals. But yeah, that's basically the carnival in that nutshell. Wish Nick was here, because yeah. Keep on trying. Da, 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 da. Hey! Hey, Hauser!
I have returned.
Jesse left.
Oh, Jesse left?
Like, right as soon as you left. So I was rambling on about stuff. Yeah, Hauser is in chat. So Hauser, Yeah. Basically, today went to the carnival, checked it out on video. It's stupider than usual. And we talked about E3. You have any opinion on E3? Have you seen anything about E3?
I mean, I could just end it here now if we have nothing else to talk about.
Oh yeah, sure. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, he said it's smaller than usual. Yeah, that seems smaller. The carnival did. It actually had some. I think this year it actually had some more big kid rides. That's what I call them. But yeah, well, they were talking about. Yeah, he don't care about E3. But anyways, I guess that's all. Hopefully on Tuesday, Mario might actually show up for once in 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yeah, apparently his beauty sleep is a lot more important, and I know he probably didn't. I know this is probably not what happened. But the way he worded it, I'm going to make this joke. Apparently, he wants so little... He wants to avoid streaming or being on the podcast so much, he intentionally took a cup of water and just poured it on his computer just so he couldn't use it. And by the way, I only say that because he said he poured water on his computer instead of spilled water.
Well, join us over on Snick's channel. I think he's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I am going to be on YouTube. I just have to decide what I'm doing. Because
well,
I feel like I need to stream the next couple of days because I think I just need people to talk to because obviously MarioTube's not filling that void, but I don't know.
Hey, can you type in chat? Can you put your channel in chat? Link.
Put my YouTube channel. Alright.
Yeah.
I have to fucking... Jesus. Come the hell on. Where's the channel?
Yeah, E3, only games I care about E3 haven't been announced yet, and that's Blizzard games and Kingdom Hearts, but that can be till the last day, so I don't really care about anything that fucking E3 related.
Of course, it's making me log in. I don't want to log in. Fucking hell. Would you, are you on Twitch now? Yeah. Would you mind posting the link?
Sure, hold on.
Alright, because...
You forgot your password?
Yep.
Alright.
I don't even know how.
Snick 1990.
Jesus. Is there a game I feel like putting in?
Alright. And here we go. Oh, come on. Work with me, damn it. There you go. Come join us there. Alright, what have we learned today? We learned that so far E3 has nothing interesting to show for it.
Yeah.
And we learned that as a kid, carnivals were exciting, but as adults, they're pretty much lame.
Yeah.
Like I said, join us Tuesday for Hell If I Know with guest Hell If I Know.
Yep.
Never stop learning. Enjoy the randomness. We'll see you next time. See ya.
Goodbye.